Okay, here we are. So, welcome everyone. Today we are having a workshop about Flutter. Our speaker will be Kamal Sayed from First Kuwait. This event is in collaboration with GDG North Lebanon, Google Developer Student Club at Lebanese University, and Google Developer Student Club at Batna University, Algeria. So, welcome all from Lebanon, Algeria, and all the countries, and especially Mr. Randall. Thank you for attending today to help also the attendees with their questions. Randall is a Flutter GDE from 2018, so he was among the first Google developer experts in Flutter. Uh, so I will share with you something, especially for university students. As our club is named Google Developer Student Club, so you are also any student in university for the next year, 2021 to 2022, can register, can apply as a Google Developer Student Club lead uh, in your university. Whatever, if your university already have a DSC or not, so it's not a big deal as long you are a student, you can apply. So here is the link. I will share it with you. So the deadline for this application will be on 18 May, which is after 2 days. So please make sure to apply as soon as possible. Uh, so you get chance to launch this club at your university. Also, I want to highlight that we also have a Google I/O. Google is hosting her annual Google I/O online this year. So all you have to do is register through google.com/io, and they will give you uh, there's all the events, and you can register and also talk with a Googlers when you attend the events. So for now, I will stop sharing, and Kamal, you can start sharing your screen and start presenting. Thank you all.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Abel. So, welcome everyone. My name is Kamal Al Sayed. I am a Flutter developer, as Abed said, and I've been working with Flutter 2 years from now. And it was a wonderful experience learning and developing a great applications. So, today I want to introduce you to Flutter. Okay. So Flutter is a framework developed by Google, and it is a UI toolkit for building beautiful apps for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code base. This means that using 90 to 90% of your code, you can create applications for different platforms: mobile, Android, and iOS, desktop, Linux, Mac, and Windows, and of course, web applications. So why Flutter? Firstly, Flutter enables you to build beautiful apps because it gives you a control over every pixel on your screen. From now on, designers never again have to compromise on their vision. Secondly, Flutter is fast. It's powered by Blazing Speed Skia 2D graphics engine, and your code is compiled to native machine code. Your finished application code doesn't go through a virtual machine or JavaScript interpreter, so you must experience the fast applications. Thirdly, Flutter is productive. Since Flutter provides us with hot reload for stateful widget, you don't have to restart your application to apply any changes while development. As we can see in the image, when the developer changed the text or the way the function should behave, it's directly applied to the testing device. Okay. And one of the more and one of the most important things about Flutter that is open source. So you can see how the framework widgets or methods that predefined being created. So if you got in a situation where you have two widgets and you need to choose from one of them, you can see how they are built and choose what based on the implementation, what is the one that fits for you. So as we said, Flutter is fast, beautiful, productive, and open source. So let's take a look how the tech stack actually works. Flutter moves the widgets, rendering, animation, and gestures into the application. So the developer has total control over the application. In another word, you can control how your application will behave. Then Flutter will render every view component using their high-performance rendering engine built in C++. Also, any Dart code is a ahead-of-time component to native code during compilation, so your project will be ready to run on different platforms. So if we have a code in Dart slash Flutter, if we want to deploy to Android, we don't run the Flutter code on Android. No, we compile to build an APK, a native code for Android, then we will run on Android device. Because Dart is optimized for UI productive, because it's simple to use and understand, and fast on all platforms, Flutter developers decided to use it as their main programming language. Today, LinkedIn data says Flutter is the first greatest growing skill among software engineers. And Flutter is one of the top 15 GitHub repositories. Also, it is used by brands around the world for apps with hundreds of millions of users, like Google, BMW, eBay, Alibaba, and a lot more. Those are some apps live in the market built by Flutter. As we can see, the UI is very good and the animation is smooth. So, before March 2021, Flutter was stable for mobile apps only. But now, building websites, apps for desktop, and embedded system is supported in a stable version. Toyota recently announced that the future of its vehicle system would be powered by Flutter to bring best in market digital experience to one of the largest car manufacturers in the world. Okay, now we will see a small video, then we will continue. Okay, very good. Now we will create an application in front of you. First, let me show you the application we will build. Okay.
Kamal, make sure to present the desktop.
Yes, sure, I'm doing that. Okay, this is the application we will build. It will be a simple application where we will display a list of countries, and we can add some or all of them to favorite. We can see them in this tab. We can remove from favorite as well. Same from here. Should be simple. Okay, let's get going. So, any questions so far?
Someone is asking how to download Flutter. So yes, thank you, Ronald, for the answer.
Okay. First, we will create the application. We can create Flutter application using CLI, but I'm using VS Code, and of course you can use Android Studio as well. Flutter supports both of them. So Flutter new application. I want to put it on the desktop. I will name it countries app. Okay, it should take a minute. Okay. Okay, let's start from scratch. Okay, first let's talk about Flutter. Flutter mainly has two different types of widgets. But first, we must say that everything in Flutter is a widget. What do we mean by that? The whole page is a widget. This widget that holds the flag, the name, and the icon is a widget also. So everything in Flutter is a widget, even the text here or here. And we have two types of widgets, stateful and stateless widget. The difference between them, that is a stateless widget is just a static widget, you can say. You just display data using it. Like if you have a page where it holds terms and conditions for the application where you just can see them and navigate back or navigate to another page, you can use a stateless widget. Stateful widget is a more powerful widget, we can say. Like in this page, we can add a widget to favorite, or we can add a country to favorite. Here, we are changing the state from unfavorite to favorite, or not favorite to favorite. So here we must use a stateful widget. We will see that in a little bit, but I should have mentioned that. So in VS Code, you can download some extensions that will help you during your development lifecycle. So I have, I think, Flutter snippets. So when I type stateless, it will create those code for me, and I just have the name, the widget. I will name it my app. And those widgets, of course, I need to import them from somewhere, and I will import them from Flutter Material. Material has some widgets and things we can use during the development. So we'll import it. Okay. First, in any widget stateful or stateless, we have build method. Build method is the method that will be fired or run uh, when we call the widget or when we ask the widget to be on the screen. So when we run my application, uh, the Flutter engine will come and see if we have, or will not come and see because we should have build method, and he will come here and compile and run what's in it. So in Flutter, we should learn or know what are the widgets that we can use. One of them is Material app. What is Material app? Material app is a widget that will help us, and it should be exist at the top of the tree. It will help us by navigation from a screen to screen, and it will help us by deciding the theme, the colors of the theme, or light or dark theme, and things like that. I won't go deep in it, talking about it. We just know that it has to be at the top of the tree. Okay. By pressing Control space, we can see the different options or the attributes that we can give to this widget. One of them is home. Home is a home is also a widget that we should provide this material widget with. So I will create another widget. I will name it. Okay, I will create stateful this time. I will name it my home, and I will pass my home in here. Okay, very good. Another type of widget that we should all know is a scaffold. Scaffold should be exist at the top of each page. So as we said, we should have material, then scaffold in it. So this is a scaffold. The scaffold can hold app bar and the body, bottom navigation bar. Uh, we can pass the background color of the screen and a lot more. So we should know that scaffold should be exists above the page. So as we said, app bar is one of the attributes. And if we put the mouse on the word, we know that it is a preferred size widget. Preferred size widget is a widget that have, uh, let's say, a static size or height. It can't be expanded or with unknown size. So we will use app bar. And we will pass title to it. So as we said, app bar is the blue part in here, and the title, this country's app, will be in here. So let me close this application and run the one we are in. But first we must, of course, declare a main method. This main method, sorry, I closed any desk. Okay. So main, in main, there is a function predefined in Flutter named run app. This should take a widget that has material app. So by doing that, we should be able to run our application. Usually it doesn't take much time, but because it's the first time we are running our application, it's taking a little bit. Okay. Okay. So as we said, we can see the app bar with the tax countries app. So another cool thing about material app, we can pass theme in it. What is theme? Theme is of type theme data, which we can give it some data or values, and we can use it through all of our application. One of them is color. uh, Primary color. Primary color is the primary color of our application. So if we say colors.red, and colors is a class that have some values like red, blue, green, green, and a lot more. So by pressing Ctrl Save or just save, we can see that the changes directly affected our application without need to restart our application. That's a very cool thing about Flutter. Okay, so now we are in Scaffold in the page. Another attribute is body. Body is the widget that will be in the body. Let's test. Add a text to test to see. Yeah, and it appeared. Okay, now we will start designing our page, to put some rows in a column, in a scrollable column to see how. Let's see how we can do that. Um, we have a widget named list view. As its name shows, it's a list that will be okay. Builder is a special type of constructor. We can say dot builder, and here we will give it item count. Item count is just the number of children or widgets that should be built in this list view. So when we say 20, we will have 20 widget in our screen. Builder will take builder is a function, will take two parameters, context and index of the child and context. So if we say return text index dot to string, and we save, we can see we have the values in here. Let's put a bigger number so we can see the scrolling effect. As we can see, we can scroll and see the different widgets. Okay, let's do that. Another widget on Flutter is container. Container is a very useful widget. We can pass, let's say, color of the widget. Let's say colors.blue. We can pass the height of the widget. Let's say 75, and the width, and double dot infinity. Double dot infinity means that we should take all the possible, like the largest number we can take in the screen, so it should hit the screen. If we save, we can see the screen is totally blue because we don't have like separator between the widgets, so all of them will be under each other. So we will add margin. Margin is a space outside the widget. Edge and sets. That's the type of this attribute. If we say dot, we have a set of constructors only. Then we will add the values one by one, bottom, left, right, top. Let's see what we got more. All. Let's try all and give it 8. So now as we can see, those are the widgets, the containers. The margin here is 8, 8, 8, and here is 16 because we have 8 from the first one and 8 from the second one. So here we have 16. We should change that. So we have 8, 8, 8, and 8, not 16 in here. Let's try another one from, okay, this one is good. From left, top, right, bottom. So we will add 4 values. The one will be for left, the second will be for top, right, and bottom. As we can see, now it's good. Like now it's 8, 8, 8, and 8. So if we look at scaffold, we have background color. We can make it gray. Gray should be good. And here color to white. Okay. If we add dot here, we can see different options, shade 100, 200, 400. Those are the intensity of the color. I think the default one is 500. So if we say 300, it should, yeah, it should be lighter. Okay. And in container, we have child. Another widget is row. Row will basically display widgets beside each other. So let's test it out. If we say text of 1 space 2 and 3, save, we'll get 1, 2, and 3. Okay, cool. Okay, based on the design we saw, we need to see like flag here, the image, then the name of the country, and finally the icon. In order to do that, I'm gonna use image, it's a widget, dot network. So I just got to get the source of network image, put it here, and it should be displayed in our application. So let's get it a flag, for example. Okay. Copy image address, and we'll put it here. Save. Yeah. But as we can see, the flag is touching the border, and we don't want that. So we can add padding. Padding, it's pretty much like margin, but the space will be from inside the widget, not outside the widget. So if we save again, we will have 8 pixels padding. But we need it to be from all 8. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now we need a text for the country name. Save. Okay. we need to add size box. Size box is just adding a size in the widget we are using. So I'm gonna give it width 8. Then we will have size between the image and the text 8 pixels. We can give text a style where we can set a set of values like a font weight. We can make it 20 and see if it's good. Oh, sorry, font size. Okay, 20 is good. And we can add font weight, which font weight bold, which will make the text bold. Good. Finally, we need the icon. Okay, like colors, icons have a set of values. You can see them later. It's a bunch of icons and beautiful icons you can check. Favorite is the one we want. Okay. But we want the icon to be at the end of the row or of the widget. So in order to do that, we will wrap the text with expanded. What is expanded? Expanded is a widget that will take all the possible size. If it's in a row, it will take all the size like horizontally. If it's in a column, it will take vertically the size. So now if you want to see this widget, it will be starting from here, ending here. And this is the icon. Here we have padding. Here we have sized box. Okay, but we don't want all the countries to be Italy. We want a set of countries. So for that, I have predefined JSON object that has some countries declared with name and the flag. I will add it here. Okay. So it's a list where it contains country name and the flag, country name and the flag. I didn't add all the countries, just like 20 or 25, not all of them. In order to access this value, we must import it here. Import countries.dart. Now, if we type countries, yeah, you can see it. So back to list view. In list view now, the item count, we don't want to be 200. We want it to be countries.length. Cool. And the image should come from countries of index of name. Sorry, of flag. And the name from name. Okay, save all. Yes. Okay. Now we want to add a variable, will be list of string, where it will hold favorite countries names in it. So it will be empty as default, and when we click on an icon, we will add the country name in here. Then while we are rendering the screen, we will check if the country name exists in this list. We will make it red, else it will be gray. So first, we will change this icon to icon button. Icon button is a widget that has onPress attribute. OnPress is a function that will be fired when the user presses or clicks on the icon. Let's try to print hi. And print is also a predefined function. It will, of course, it will print what's inside in the console. So if we click here, we can see hi in the console. Okay. Instead of printing hi, we want to add country name to the list. So we would say favorite countries dot add country name. If we run this code and we click on the icon, the country name will be added to this list. But Flutter doesn't know that it should re-render the screen. Also, it should re-render the screen and see if anything changed. But first, we should here uh, do something. Color, we should set the color to red if this list have the value. If it contains country name, then we will return colors.red. Else, we will return colors.gray. We save. Okay. Now all of them is gray and nothing being changed. Why? Because Flutter needs to know, as we said, when we want to re-render the screen. So there is a predefined method named setState. Okay, setState. Okay. So here we saw why we need a stateful widget, because we want to set state every time user presses on the icon. We will change the stateless widget to stateful widget. Now we can access the setState method. Yes, and in here we will say that we want to add this value to the list. Now when we click on it, okay, we can debug to see if the list. Okay. So the list is empty. Why? Still empty. Okay. Um, okay, sorry. So because we are declaring the list and the build, each time we say set state, it will fire build again. So when it fire build again, it will set the value of countries to empty again. So we should declare it outside build method. Now it should work. Yeah, as expected. But now we want to remove it from favorite on click. So here we will have if else condition. We would say if favorite countries that contains country name, then we should remove it. But remove countries index. Else, if it is not in the list, we will add it. Okay. If it's continued, okay, insert state. Okay. Okay, that is what we want. Now we want like two buttons in here, one home and another favorite, where we can see only favorite countries in the second tab. So like we did in countries, we declared a variable here. We will declare another variable and page index equals 0. So first we will be at home. When user presses on 1, we will change the page to 1. When he presses back to 0, it will be 0 again. So in Scaffold, we will add bottom navbar. That's the name of the widget we will be using. Bottom navbar. Items is the buttons that will appear. So bottom, and we can see that items is of type list of bottom navbar item. So we should pass here bottom navbar item. Icon, what is the icon that we want? Icon, icons.home. Label is the text that will appear under the icon home. And favorite. Okay. Yes. But the page is not changing. Why? Because we are not telling Flutter to change the page. We are just pressing here, and this value is static, not static, but not being changed on click. So we must find OnTap attribute here, which is a function that will give us the index that is being pressed on. What we will do, we will set state page index to index. Okay, save. Okay, also we must say that the current index is page index. That's how Flutter will know that this is the selected one. So the last thing to do is filter the page when we press on favorite to get only the favorite countries. In order to do that, we will create a list here of countries to be displayed. Equal null, and we say if page index equals 0. Countries to be displayed equal countries, all of them. Else, countries to be displayed will be equal countries dot where. What is where? Where is a method, or it's a method defined in list class. This method we should return true or false. True, then the value will be added here. False, the value will not be added here. So we will check is if favorite countries that contains element of name. If the name exists, then we should add it. Yes. Finally, we will add to list in order to make it list. And here we should use country to be displayed instead of countries. Okay, save. Yes, working as expected. Now if we remove this, move here, nothing, the same. Yeah, and that's it for today. Uh, if you have any questions, let me know, please.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I have a question that how are you able to connect your PC or laptop with your mobile? Can you tell me please?
Yes, I have application named AnyDesk. I open AnyDesk on mobile and desktop and I connect them together so I can see my screen, my phone screen on my laptop.
No, I am asking that you are writing code in your PC and it is affecting your the app in your mobile. Why it is
Yes,
doing? Can you explain?
I'm connecting it through a USB cable.
Oh, thank you. That's all I want to know. Thank you, Kamal.
You're welcome. Anything else?
What about the size of application?
Size, you mean like size of the APK that will be downloaded on Android or IPA on iPhone?
Yes, like that, please.
Okay, so let's go to files, our application and desktop name. So here in build folder application, I'll output APK. So this is the APK that is running here. We can see properties that it's 50 megabyte. But when you release the application, the size will be dropped like so much. It will be a lot less, like 10 megabytes or even less because we don't have any assets or things like that, just one class. So it will be like, I think 10, maybe less.
Okay, so someone asked again, how do you filter the favorite ones at the end? Can you repeat this section?
Yes, sure. So as we said, when we say set state, Flutter will uh, rerun this method, which is build. So when we press on home or favorite, we are setting the state. So we are running this method again. So in here, we are declaring countries to be displayed variable, which will hold in home all the countries and in favorite the countries that favorite countries list contains the name. So let me say it in another way. Um, if I ask you, Abid, or the someone or the person who asked, what are the countries that we will display here, you will say all of them. And in here, you will say that we will look in the favorite countries and see, like if it contains like Italy, then we will display it here. So it's the same what we are doing here. We are uh, like iterating over all the countries, and for each element or country, we can say, for each country, we are checking if we are already in this list, then we will add the value to this variable. That's what I mean. Let me write it in another way. Wait. So 4, we will iterate through all the elements in countries dot length, and in here we would say first we should declare as it shouldn't be null, so we should add equal empty list in here, and we would say if favored countries dot contains countries of I of name, then dot add country or not countries of I. It's the same as before. So here we are saying that this variable will be empty list, and we will iterate through each country. And if favorite country contains the name of this country, we will add it to this list. If we save to see works, then it should work fine. I don't know if I answered you.
Guys, please don't forget to answer the question for the certificate and chance to win a gift.
Thank you, everyone. Yes. Majd Mustafa asking if all the countries will be loaded or it's like recycler view. So list view.builder is like recycler view. Each time you scroll, the widgets that will not be displaying on the screen will be disposed. Disposed means it will be removed from the cache, and we will add another widget. So someone is asking where to start. He wants to learn. So if you know programming but you don't know Flutter, you can go to the website Flutter documentations, and start reading about them. They have like a good documentation where they walk you through Flutter step by step. Then you can check like the libraries where you can find uh, like static providers or things like that. You can see a tutorial on YouTube. They will give you everything step by step, and it will be smooth. Yes, we will upload the code on GitHub, and Abed will send the repository link by mail after we finish. Yes, Amir, we are done. But if you have any question, I'm here to answer you.
Hello, first of all, thank you for the introduction. It was very helpful. I want to ask you if I have like this application already made, and if I want to make a transition either to the desktop or to the web, which are the steps that I have to do, or even both? How can I do it? Like I have an already made application like this one, and thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I didn't hear all the question. Your voice wasn't so clear, but I understand that you want to deploy to desktop or website, and what are the steps that you should do, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Like now, I have the application, and then I decided that I wanna also move to desktop. How can I do it? Or even if I wanna move to the web, which are the steps that I have to do? Once again, thank you a lot.
Thank you. You're welcome. So in order to deploy for website, uh, if you went to Flutter deploy, okay, just give me a minute. So when we created the application, we created Flutter created two folders for Android and iOS, and if you saw the command that has been run, we said that we want this application to be for iOS and Android. We can deploy now for web by running another command, which will create a folder for website, which will contain like I think index.html and things like that. After doing that, you can build for release, and you will get I think a folder where you can use it. And for desktop, you will get the exe file. And the steps are clear on the Flutter website documentation. I don't really remember all of them now, but I remember that you have to run a command, then you will get the build, and you can use it anywhere you want. You are welcome. Thank you. Hussam is asking if he can make animations for list view builder. You can make animation for widgets. So inside the builder method, you can return instead of container animated container, for example. This animated container will do some animations, and there are a set of widgets for list which should be animated, or if you want to be animated, there is another widget than list view builder. Yeah, thank you, Randall. He just sent a URL for animated list.
Okay, thank you, Kamal, very much for this amazing presentation and workshop and demo. And I hope all the attendees now are able to start building their application in Flutter. So for now, I want to close the form with a quiz. Or we could keep it open, but for those who want to submit again, they will not enter the draw as it will happen now. I will filter the score to only for those who answered well. So far, we have 47 people submitted. All of them will get a certificate of attendance. And for those who answered well, you get a chance to win a gift. The first gift, the first winner, we will pick it randomly. The prize will be a Google developer account, so they can publish their application on the Google Play. So can you please stop sharing screen? Come on.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so here are the list who answered well. Around 20 of you answered correctly. So we'll start the figure. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Salman is asking, can I still submit? Salman, okay. Let me pause this chair a bit. Or just, okay. One moment, please. Okay, so I have updated those who answered in a few minutes. Okay, so now we will start the random picker. So our winner is Layal Al-Mughrabi. Layal, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations, Layal. You won with us the Google Developer Account subscription. It will be either refund in cash or we will do it for you. So I will contact you privately to get more details how to redeem the gift. Also, we'll pick another winner who will won a recharge card. Whether on his line Alpha MC or for the people in Algeria. Okay, so start. Jihad Hassan. Congratulations also.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, thank you all for attending today. And hope to see you all in future events. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget to apply to Google DSC Lead in the next year if you are a university student. It's an amazing experience. Also, don't forget to register to Google I/O this year and attend it online. It's also for free, happening after tomorrow. Two days left. Thank you all again. See you next event. Goodbye. Have a safe day.
Thank you for this useful session.
Goodbye. Thank you for you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
And thanks for letting me help out.